And we are live. Hello. Happy full moon, everybody. Um, yeah, we are live. It is very rainy down here. Seems like it's been very rainy in general, but we are here. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having a good evening so far. I just realized what the problem was, why my sound wasn't working because my tab was muted. I feel ridiculous to think that it took me until 42 seconds in to figure that out, but hey, at least we're here. So, anyway, let me drop the volume just a bit. Anyway, thank you so much for joining into today's stream. I hope everybody has had a good first 72 hours of 2026 so far. So, sorry for starting off late. I'm with my nephew right now, and so our tradition is typically to play Uno every night, and we've had some pretty epic matchups recently. But rest assured, um, starting tomorrow, I'll be back at home, so that won't be happening as frequently, but I should be a bit more on time from this point onward. So, um, yeah, thanks so much for your patience as we get through these kinds of things. I'm just super excited to be here. Um, as you can see from the description, today is a full moon, the full wolf moon, in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is a water sign. It is considered one of the most sensitive, one of the most psychic signs in the zodiac. Very sensitive as well. So if you feel a bit more emotional than you typically would, this is why. This is why. So there's that. So I recommend you take some time and double check where Cancer hits in your chart. For me, I've seen my chart enough times to know that Cancer hits in my eighth house. And yeah, eighth house, because my ninth house is stellium and it's in the birth sign. So that's the only reason why I know about that. And for me, the eighth house in astrology, if I can pull that up, give me 1 second. The eighth house is about shared resources, intimacy, and space in deep transformation, as well as like occult and taboo subjects, as well as joint finances like debts, inheritances, and taxes, and profound psychological shifts, especially through crisis or certain aspects of life, and requiring deep hidden truths. So traditionally, that's ruled by Scorpio, Um, but I believe, if I remember my order correctly, I believe Cancer's domain is in the fourth. Let me double check. Oh, oh. Yes. Okay, I remember my order. So traditional ruler in astrology when it comes to the house is the fourth house, which is about home, family, roots, ancestry, and private life, as well as your emotional foundations, so security, and early childhood environment. Usually it's about parenthood, um, especially the maternal line and heritage. And it's located around the bottom of your chart, which is about your roots, your origins, the place you seek comfort and retreat. And it is often ruled by the moon. And it's also usually where the IC in your chart, or the imam coli, which means bottom of the sky. So, Imam Coli is about your foundations, like where everything is built on, and then the MC, the midheaven, is where you're going towards your career and all that kind of stuff. So, a little bit of astrology 101 for you for today. So, if you've been feeling more emotional than usual, or especially if you've been more accurate than usual when it comes to certain things. Oh, whoops. Sorry. One of my tabs refreshed and um where's this? Sorry, my music is getting affected, and I'm trying to find the tab where that sound is coming from. I apologize. Um, I've been applying to, I've been planning on applying to study abroad, this summer. So fingers crossed that that happens. Okay, okay. I think the sound stopped. I apologize. It was like, where's that sound coming from? Where's the sound coming from? I can't tell where that is. Run. Um, Let me get back to OBS real quick. Okay, how's my frames? Okay, sorry about that. Um, wait, I need to close my tabs. Um, Tab that spots. Dang it. Okay, let's see if I can find it. And I can't find it. Brilliant. Okay. Um, I will find the tab eventually, but for right now, I just want to get stuff going. But yeah, I've been applying to study abroad. One of my friends told me about an adult study abroad program at Temple University in Tokyo. Um, the summer leg has recently been filled, but the winter leg in December, I think their applications open up pretty soon. It's a bit shorter than I'd like though, so I most likely will probably um, try and apply for summer program for next year. Okay, great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. Um, just get my tab going. Yeah, my sound like all of a sudden played a TikTok from one of the study abroad programs I was looking at, and I was like, I just can't find the tab where that played because I just want to play my music without it getting interrupted. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not looking for the Captain Planet theme. No, no, no. Okay, I found it. I think I found the tab. Okay, great. Uh, I did have to up the frames a little bit because of the camera, but other than that, it's pretty much the same since yesterday. So thanks for that.
Something I really dislike about school French.
Ah, another of my language learning tabs. I apologize. You were finding about my tab history today. I apologize. You're finding out about my tab history. For some reason, today is the day that everything refreshed, so to speak. And it's like, let me let me reveal everything you've been researching up until this point. Language learning, study abroad, like symposiums out of the country. Just everything is like my laptop's like we're exposing everything today. Okay. Waxing gibbous lore? Okay. Okay. Let us let us set the scene here. Okay. I think we should not have any stray videos from this point onward, so let's do this. Uh, anyway, where was I? Okay. Yeah, so we're giving a little bit of astrology lore here. So the full moon today, it is in the sign of Cancer, and is considered one of the most emotional signs of the zodiac, as well as one of the most environmentally sensitive. Because I mean, you know what we say about crabs. Within their outside, with their hard exteriors, is a very soft interior. They're very sensitive. Um, and also they are very, with the sensitivity comes a very deep awareness of what's going on in the world. So if you're finding you've been a bit more emotional than usual, or as I found today, if you find that you're more accurate than usual, um, this is why. So I recommend, if you happen to know your chart, look it up and see where Cancer hits in your chart, and maybe take some time and send some gratitude to that part, as well as things that you could probably evolve in that section. I could totally pull for that as well, if you are curious. um, but yeah, today there was a couple of matches from the African Cup of Nations, which is basically the qualification match for African countries to be in the World Cup for later this year in the United States. And only two countries will be allowed to go. So basically the first place winner and the runner up will basically be able to go. And we're at the knockout rounds right now. So far, Senegal won against Sudan 3-1. And then, unfortunately, we missed watching that match live. But we did manage to watch the second match live, which was Mali against Tunisia. And with the way they were playing within the first few minutes, I just had this feeling that it was going to come down to penalty kicks. I just had this deep feeling it was going to come down to that. The players scored 1-1 in the regular game, and then it got to extra time, which is another half hour of playing, 15 minutes per side, and then that ended up not doing anything. So it did come down to a penalty kick, and Mali won by one kick. It was tight, y'all. It was tight. It came down to that. And as of right now, it's the only game that has come down to that. There have been a few that came down to extra time, but it's mainly been coming down. But this is the first one, and to date the only one that came down to one kick, to the penalty. And that was dramatic, guys. Like, that was 2 hours. 2 hours of drama, and I managed to figure out, like, yeah, this is going to come down to a penalty. I have a feeling, and my instinct was right. And I'm not going to get political here, but I just have a feeling before America turns 250, something's going to go down. I just have this feeling. Might be just me, though. Maybe I shouldn't be pushing my luck, though. But yeah, to give a little bit of moon lore. Music just froze again. Jeez. Okay, there we go. To give a little bit of moon lore. So the moon phases, especially if you're going more metaphysical here, represent like different things to do when you're doing certain phases. So new moon, obviously, new moon, aka the dark moon, is when things are starting up. Things are starting up. It's time to plant some seeds, let things bloom, let things grow. Then the waxing moon is when, like, you can like boost up your intentions a little bit. Like, this is a time that you can start developing what it is that you want, strategize, make a little plan, make things a little easier to come to fruition. And then full moons. like what we're having today. Full moons are when it's everything's at its peak. It's a time for you to send that one last burst out to the universe, send some gratitude towards the visions that you want to develop, and then a time for you to start releasing what the obstacles are from this point up until the waning, from like through the waning period. There's a time for you to start releasing, like letting go of all the obstacles, what no longer serves you. Just shed everything. New moon, like full moons are also when you take stock, and well, there's a light shining down on everything that's in front of you, and it's a time for you to take stock of everything that you have done up until this point. And the zodiac sign that the moon happens to be under is a good opportunity for you to basically take stock in a certain area in your life. So for me, for example, Cancer lands in the 8th house. And like I mentioned earlier, the 8th house deals with transformative events. And I've certainly been going through quite a number of transformative events quite recently, actually. There's been a lot of things that I've been thinking about doing. So for you, it could be in the 4th, like where Cancer's home sign is. That's about like the home, your ancestry, family. That's its original ruling spot, is in the 4th house. So looking at those two domains, think about what it is that you want to maybe improve in those areas, or maybe just check in, see how things are going in those areas. So it's a good time to take stock of those kinds of situations. So I know I've been blabbing quite a bit, but it's also a good time to really take some time and meditate upon what it is that you want to ask, as well as, well, just some things to meditate on in general. Which, speaking of meditating, I have wanted to do this spread. It's a thing I do twice a year, once on my birthday and once in the new year, where I do a Wheel of the Year spread. So essentially, what I do is I do a circle based on the Wheel of the Year, like a circular spread, and a significator in the middle. And significator is like the overarching energy or the overarching theme. And then each one of the cards, which is like 8 of them, is based on the holidays in the Celtic calendar, that each one gives me something to consider as I go. Now, originally, I was going to do my reading off camera, but I know myself. If I don't do it, I probably never will do it. So, this first reading, as a little bit of entertainment for you guys, as well as enlightenment for myself, and a little bit of accountability for the year. So, you're welcome. I am going to basically go through the entire Wheel of the Year in front of you, just to show what it's like for me. And then, if you all want to get one for yourselves, you can either jump on here and ask for one, and I can pull one for you, or you can ask for one on my coffee shop, coffee.com/Tonders. I have a special on that in my storefront. And it's pay what you want, minimum of $15 if you want to get one personally. But yeah, so I'm gonna use myself as an example for this. You are welcome to do that, or some other spread that you want me to pull, or some other question. But yeah, I've been overdue. I've been putting this off for 3 days, and I need to do this now. So, without further ado, let us jump into it. And shout out to um, Mysterious Leroy. He does um, interpretations of the Sakura cards. I usually use the Sakura cards to do this reading because I find it gives um, the narrative of tarot with the gentleness of oracle. So a mixture of both of those often can be very useful here. Up the Cloud card video on the side, as well as the Tumblr post that I tend to cite when it comes to readings like these. So yeah, it's going to be very research heavy today. I hope you don't mind. So like having my resources up ready to go. There we go. Switch to that tab here. So we're going very heavy on the divination today. I hope y'all don't mind. There we go. Okay, so we got my video on standby, as well as
honestly, one thing that's been a big part of my life that's really
whoops, sorry. There we go. Dang ads. Okay. Alright, so we got the cards up. We got the divination information up. So without further ado, how about I go ahead and get roasted, shall we? Well, not really roasted so much as, well, this is stuff. These are things that I should seriously consider through 2026. Shout out to my mod Yo. They did a reading for me for things to consider for things to do during this new year. And the spread came from Emerald Lotus Divination, which is a really awesome site. I've used quite a number of their spreads over the past few years. It's free. This one I came across on an old forum website called Eclectic Tarot, which it's still up, but like you can't really sign up for like the forum anymore. I wish it came back, but I miss it. But it is what it is. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering what resources I'm using for this baby right here, this is the YouTube video that we are going to be listening to for today. And let me get the other site here. And this is going to be the other one that I'm using for additional information. Of course, intuitively, I'll see what else I can find. But these are the two sites I'm going to be using here for this. Of course, if you want me to pull tarot, I can do tarot too. Not a big deal if you happen to want to try this. But these are the two resources I use for this deck in particular. And there is also an official clamp version of this deck as well. Like, they have their own interpretations of it as well too. But I admit the fan translation of the manual is a little bit involved with browsing through it, and I get to like transliterate, like put it into a format that I find better for my practical uses. I'm still working on that. So as soon as I do, I can pull their interpretation of it, because I think especially their interpretation of the loop is rather interesting. Because the way Mysterious Leroy treats the loop is like a racetrack. But then the way that Clamp interprets the loop, it's more like a rubber band, kind of like a ties that bind kind of deal. So very similar, but also very different interpretations of the same item. Let's see if the loop actually comes up here. I doubt it, but I say that now and the loop pops up. But anyway, let's see. I'm a little rusty with shuffling these, so forgive me. Gotta switch to my front cam real quick. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? How's the weather? For me, it's been raining on and off since the sunset. We went out to Texas Roadhouse for dinner, and I had a pretty good sirloin steak with some steak fries and some veggies. The veggies are surprisingly good. Like, if I happen to go back to Texas Roadhouse again soon, I'm definitely going to do a double order of the veggies next time, because it was really good, actually. Like, it was well seasoned. And, of course, their steak is delectable. And, of course, the best part is the buns. Try not to overwork yourself while cleaning. Please do not overwork yourself while cleaning. Please take breaks. I am begging you. Oh god, it's cold. I am not ready. I am not ready to go back up there. Because I've been having, I mean, granted, we've had our cold days. Like, the coldest we get down here is maybe like 56. Which, if I had to translate that into Celsius, maybe like 18, 19 degrees. But on the day, during the day, it gets to around like 20, which is like beautiful. Which here would be about like 72, 74. I love it. I love warm weather. I mean, then again, I'm a summer baby. I mean, I do enjoy the cold too. Like, there are some things where like I'm just like I'm going out. I'm in like a t-shirt and pants, and then meanwhile, my brother and my sister-in-law are like bundled up in like their sweaters and their jackets and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, y'all, this is nothing compared to what we experience up north. Up north, it's freezing. Like, what are you doing? Will be warmer on Monday, but tomorrow will be freezing. 56 after Monday will be closer to our high. Okay. I admit, that is one thing I do not miss. Is just, I mean, the one thing I do find annoying, however, is I feel like recently I do not know how to dress. Like, there are some days where I go out and it's like, ooh, maybe I should have put on a sweatshirt. And then there are other days I'm like, it's boiling. What is this weather? Florida, pick one. Like, bruh, pick one. It's hard out here. But yeah. I'm ready to come home, but I'm not ready to come home to the cold. That's the thing. But I have to prepare for that somehow. And I say that now, and I'm feeling a little warm. I'm feeling a little warm right now. Like, I just feel like jumping into, like, an ice bath. Which, speaking of, I need to refill that ice bath the moment I come back. I might take a dip in it just because. I'm just so warm. Just thinking about it. I know, it's weird that I say that considering it's going to be freezing when I come home. But I'm ready for some change. Ready to shake things up. Let me spice this up a little bit. So, I do a little bit of a double blind kind of pull because it kind of shuts my brain off a little bit and allows me to like follow more of my instincts, and it also ensures that like when I do shuffle, at least I am ensuring that I am not picking the same cards over and over again. I say that now, and that's what I've been doing the past few times I have been pulling from this deck. but it makes it easier for me to realize, like, yeah, it lets the skeptic brain kind of turn off for a little bit. Like, okay, I know it's random. I can't blame my shuffling at this point. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and pull these cards, shall we? So we got 9 cards, and 8 of them are for the holidays, starting from Yuletide, which is what it is right now. It started on the 21st, and we'll go until February 1st, and we'll go until Samhain, aka All Hallows Eve, aka Halloween, aka Dia de los Muertos. So, that cycle. I always get the spring holidays mixed up. That's I always get the spring holidays mixed up whenever I pull for some reason. I always get like Ostara and Beltana mixed up. But I think Beltana is the one that comes first, and then Ostara comes second. No, wait, no. Ostara comes first, Beltana comes second, because Beltana is also known as May Day, and then Ostara is known as Easter. So, I remember, because, like, Ostara comes around March, Easter comes a little after that, then Beltana comes May Day. Got it. Okay. I remember my order this time. I won't mess it up this time, which is good. I always get the spring ones mixed up. For some weird reason. Okay. And I always keep like a chart of all my previous wheels of the year, as well as my birthday one. So it's pretty nice. I envy the ones who manage to start at Yule, because basically you have like 2 calendars at that point you can see side by side. You basically have the entire year mapped out, versus those who have it like later in the year like I do, where I got like the second half of summer where it's basically a mystery until January. So, Yule, Imelec. Okay. Ostara. That's Yule, Imelec, Ostara, then Beltana. That's one of my bucket list things, is to experience Beltana in Ireland. It's a big fire festival. Very significant to the Celtic peoples. Okay. Yule, Imelec, Ostara, Beltana, Letha, then Lunasa, Mabon, and that one. There we go. 3 more. Well, 3 more for the holidays and the Syndicator. Okay. Oh, I always get 2 around the summertime. Every time I always get doubles. I don't know why. I definitely need to look at my birthday reading from earlier this year. Ooh, that one decided to flip. Okay. Do I count that as a jumper? Or do I count this as... Do I count this as a, as the holiday? But I have gotten the cloud before. I have gotten this one before, actually. I I'm feeling like this needs to be a jumper, actually, so I'm going to put that to the side here. We're going to look at that first. We'll put actually around the side where it was supposed to be put up upon, which is Yule Imlek, Ostara, Beltana, Litha Nunasa. That's supposed to be Mabon. So we'll get another card here for Mabon. Okay, so I'll put that on top there. And then Samhain. That one's really... That one there. And then what's our overarching theme for this year? Okay. Anything else you want me to know, my friends? Oh, yeah, I'm feeling something here. Okay. Side. Okay, thank you. All right. Let me put these to the side. And let me arrange these properly. Got two for this one. Peter. Okay, so that one decided to flip, which is the cloud. So we're going to give that a listen, and then we shall go from there. So let me open up my tab here. Actually, let me separate these. Let me separate these tabs, and then I will... excuse me. Go from here. Okay. So drop this. So it's a little bit less work for the computer to do. Go up here. There we go. So now we got our workspace here. I need to refresh this because I need to get the page to show up. There we go. All right. So now we got our workspace here. So we're going to start with this jumper here, which is the cloud. So let's find out. Is it frozen? Shoot. Is it frozen? The camera. Oh, no. Come on. There we go. Okay. Okay. It was just a little delayed. Okay. So, the cloud. We're going to find out what this means. And it was around the Mabon section. We're going to see why this turned over first. Okay. So I'm going to drop the music for a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to play Mysterious Leroy's interpretation of the cloud. My video can at least react. And hey, my stream's actually popping up on my YouTube. Who would have thought? Okay. Okay. The cloud.
The cloud. Stuck in a rut, clouded thoughts, negative cloud looming over you. Intuition guides you. A good time to flex your psychic muscles. Following your intuition may be the answer. It could mean that you're being overly negative, letting bad thoughts ruin your life, having a pessimistic perspective, overanalyzing or overthinking, and being too much in your head. To create.
Oh, whoop.
You are the creator of your reality.
Okay. Not the
Powers
create,
and
not the create.
success
Nope,
are
nope, nope, nope.
increasing.
Okay. Being too much in my head and using my intuition. I've been getting that quite a lot in recent readings. Let me look at Freelmore's interpretation as well. Oh my gosh. Can you just not make me log in? Fine, I'll log into Tumblr. Can you just let me do my thing? Ugh. It's been a hot minute since I've used Tumblr, so it's like, okay, can you just let me get to this page without you interrupting me every few seconds? Thank you. Okay. So, the cloud is under the domain of, the watery. Can you please stop flipping up the page? Thank you. And other things that it could also mean: carefree, optimistic, unworried. So, maybe once I get up to the rest of the cards, it will make more sense. But for right now, it's not telling me much. It's a little too early. But once I get to Maybon, probably it'll make more sense. But for right now, let's check out first the Yuletide card. And our first card of the evening in terms of my 2026, we got the Fight. Ooh. Okay. I'm being read for filth right now because that's basically me right now. Good lord. Okay. Why? Why do you have to read me like this? Okay. So the Fight is under the domain of the fiery, according to Tumblr, and it can mean leader and standing up for oneself. And here is more from Mysterious Leroy's interpretation of the card. If I can get to just concentrate on the one card, that should be great. Okay. Here we go. The Fight.
The Fight. This card is about internal struggles, fighting to overcome bad patterns of behavior. You can be your own opponent, trying to better yourself but falling into old ways. Struggling to win a battle is part of the journey of progress. If you feel drawn to something, don't fight it. When struggling to overcome an opponent, switch tactics.
Dang! Oh man, this one already is hitting me so hard. It's just 2 seconds already. It's like, because I'm not going to go into detail here, but basically this Yuletide has been very intense personally, and I had to come to a decision that that I'm not exactly happy with, but I had to do it to keep the peace, so to speak. So it's something like, in an ideal circumstance, I wouldn't have to do this. I do not like confrontation in any way, even though I've done martial arts for 13 years. I just don't like it. And yet, it's been this simmering frustration that I've had to deal with. And not gonna lie, it feels like a losing battle a lot of the time. But yeah, the fact that this first card already is portraying what's been currently happening in this season, that's just eerie already. That it's like, and then even the first card that flipped over was even represented that fact. That's just mind-blowing, really. Just wow. A call for me to be a leader in my own life, which, I mean, I knew I had to do that, but just, that first card already smacked me in the face. So a lot I have to think about just for the first card alone. Oof. Anyway, our next card is covering Imulk or Imelek, which means in the belly. It happens on February 1st, aka Candlemas, and it's one of 2 sacred days connected to the goddess slash saint Brigid, or Breed, or Breeja, depending on what you prefer. The other one being Beltina, which we will explain in a moment. But yeah, now we're starting to get out of winter and starting to get into to prep for spring. And so Yule and Imelek are times where you have to make your own light. And Bridget being the goddess of, well, besides Ireland, goddess of Ireland herself is Eru. That's why in Gaelic, Ireland is Erin. Because it's based off of the goddess Eru. I've been thinking of taking some Irish, so that's kind of why I've been really into that kind of stuff. But anyway, Yule and Imelek is very much a call to start cultivating your own light until the light, aka the sun itself, starts to return. So, Imelek, we've got the snow. Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna play Mysterious Leroy's meaning first. You'll see why I say, like, oh boy. It's like already we are coming to a very challenging start.
The snow. Feelings of loneliness. Craving a community. Feeling left out. Finding power in solitude. Comfort with solitary moments. Time alone as a blessing. Reconnecting with a community. Or hanging out with other people as a form of self-improvement.
And it is interesting because for Imelek this year, we're actually thinking of doing a bardic circle. So essentially, you come together, you have a limited amount of time, but essentially you bring a poem, a song, or some sort of performance, usually for a short duration, and bring that as like an offering for the season. I've done something akin to a bardic circle back when I was in college, which it's really fun, by the way. Definitely worth it. But yeah, the call for community definitely is going to be a big one during that period. Another few meanings from Tumblr for the snow, which is under domain of the watery. It can also mean peacefulness, purity, and potential. And the snow, it can be very quiet, at least at first. It seems like a quiet element. But then, I don't know if you've seen videos by Yana Yinton, so with a J. She's a Nordic artist, and she does these tracks where she puts this super sensitive mic on ice and snow, and it catches the frequencies of the ice and snow, and she makes musical tracks out of them. And she also does like the history of the land that she lives in, and she makes musical styles based on that. Like she does songs for the forests, which are really gorgeous. Highly recommend them. I go to sleep with it sometimes. It's amazing. Other times she does I just forgot what they're called, but basically they're like herding songs. That's what it is. Herding sounds, where essentially it's like high-pitched singing to be able to call cows back home. She does stuff like that. It's pretty cool stuff. But that's what the snow makes me think of, is it looks really unassuming at first, but there's just a lot of activity going on underneath. Like, even if you dig up the snow, you're in snow, you dig it up sometimes, and you see green leaves pop up, because there's a little bit of a greenhouse effect that kind of goes on. I mean, that's why they say if you're stuck in an avalanche, make a shelter in snow. I mean, even igloos, why they exist, because they keep heat in pretty well, actually, for survival purposes and buffers out the wind. So, snow, yeah, it looks as if it's icing you out, but actually there's so much going on underneath. And so, thinking about it in terms of this reading and based on the meanings that I've pulled up so far, I'm thinking Imelec is a call for me to come back to people, like be more in community again, and not indulge so much in isolation. Now, solitude and spending time alone, like a restorative introvert thing, or just having the space to think, that's a different thing altogether. Now that's very important. Like, have the space for that, but then also remember to sometimes reemerge in the world, come out of hibernation, and share what you found sometimes. That's what I'm feeling that Imolk or Imelec is going to call me to do, is to start sharing my insights a bit more, and just stop icing people out. So yeah, already the first two holidays of this rotation already is kind of it's a lot. Okay, so next we got Ostara, aka Easter, Eostre, the vernal equinox, which is happening March 21st, between March 19th and March 21st, sometimes 22nd. So one of two times where the sun and the sun and the moon are equal lengths. The other one's the autumnal equinox, Mabon, which is across there. But anyway, for here, let's see what we got. The song. She has popped up for me several times. She has popped up for me even for my dream reading that I did, which is interesting. So, the song is under the domain of the Windy, and it's about expressing self, harmony, and shared joy, according to Tumblr. And let us see about Mysterious Leroy. And funnily enough, the song was the next card on the thing I was playing, so that's perfect.
The song, self-expression in a positive way, channeling your personality into all that you do, living your truth. The way you live is the ultimate form of self-expression, putting your heart into your hobbies, harmony in the way you live your life, your personal spin on things in all you do, not letting things stifle your self-expression, embracing your individuality.
That is funny, considering that I've recommended Bailey Varnell's video about your personal year, and 2025 into at least the first half of 2026 is a 6 year, which is about starting to honor your interests more and take charge and shed away things that maybe you did to cater others, but to take charge of yourself for once. And then it turns to a 7 year for me. And sevens, it's basically about self-expression, a time to play around with creativity and the like. So that's towards my birthday, but the fact that it's like this is already hitting in Ostara, I think it's time to like start playing around with my expression a bit more, find out what it means to be expressive. And I did say in one of my I actually did a bingo card, a 2026 bingo card kind of situation, and there are some things about self-expression that I want to do to cross off that list. So the fact that that's up here, it's just calling me, it's a call for me to start really expressing myself in that domain. So that's really interesting that that happened to pop up right there. Okay. So, Beltana. It is one of 2 times, aka Mayday, it's one of the 2 times where the spirit world and this world, like the barrier between them is at its thinnest. The other time is during Samhain. Beltana, it's like usually like the realm of the fairies or the realm of the living, like springs of potential. And for Samhain, it's the opposite of that, where it's looking upon things that have already happened, your ancestors, things that have gone past, and things to reflect on. So it's like reflection, and it's time to look. And then for the Beltana, it's things to look forward to. It is another fire festival, also in honor of Bridget and also of the goddess Eru, like I mentioned earlier. And for many people, myself included, Beltana has been a very transformative holiday. It's when people's lives have changed. This one creator, Mia Magic, she did this really amazing documentary about her experience with Beltana and how dramatically her life has changed since then. That's been the same for me too. I would love to experience it in Ireland itself someday, because I heard that there in Scotland as well, they have pretty epic festivals for Beltana that are really amazing to witness, and I would like to do that someday. I would like to do that, and I would love to film it for you and for you all to see what it's like and experience it yourself. But anyway, Beltana, right here, we got the move. Some of these I've pulled before. I've pulled before for myself or for other people. I know these 2 I've pulled for myself before. I pulled the snow last year as well. I'm gonna have to double check what position it was in too, though. I'm gonna have to double check. But the move, I've had that. Because we got to keep it moving.
The move. Moving around bad vibes. Dodging negativity. Holding on to high vibrations. Overcoming things that emotionally slow you down. Things won't hold you down. Resilience in daily low vibe happenings. Moving along to your own terms. Keeping away from negative people, or not letting what negative people say affect how you go about your life.
Okay. And now I'm thinking of that Peachka protection song. I don't F with bad vibes. I ain't scared to cut ties. That song just really hits. Other one, the move also is under the domain of the windy, and it could also mean thinking before speaking or talking too much. So sometimes literally and metaphorically, you gotta move in silence. Literally, metaphorically, you might need to move in silence. But also dodging bad vibes. So just not letting negativity get you down. And it's happening around May Day. So yeah, I think it's a call for me to just allow myself to just burn away all the negativity that I've been keeping in my system up until this point, and just let myself live in the moment. And gonna have to come back to this one. I really do have to come back to this one. But yeah, it's hard to read for oneself sometimes. I mean, I do it for myself pretty often, but like, of course, some people would think like, it's not very objective what you're doing. So why are you doing that? Go to another reader. So if y'all have any interpretations for this kind of stuff as well, even though I am the expert, like not the expert, but like, I've done this for a while, but in case you happen to think of other things when you're looking at these, feel free to let me know, because I could be off my rocker sometimes. I could be a little too optimistic. I get that. So, you got any other suggestions? I am all ears. But anyway, next one is about Letha, which is considered the midsummer, a preparation for the intense heat, and pretty soon we are starting to get we're getting some flowers already, so pretty soon we're gonna start getting the more substantial crops that we feed upon, so to speak. So the hefty harvests are coming up in the latter half of the year. So, Letha, we got the big Oki. Okay, let me see what other Japanese I remember. Yuki, Uta. I've seen this kanji before, but I just can't remember how to read it. Besides move. Not move as an exercise, though. It's a little different. It's a different kind of move. But yeah, that is big. This one is big. Okay. Excuse me. So, the big. Let's hear it.
Big. Taking advantage of big opportunities. Making big waves with your decisions. Creating your own decisions. Taking a big chance. Leap of faith. Suspend your fear of failure. Big opportunities are coming your way. These opportunities are obvious and in your face. Starting progress towards something that feels big to you. The big can also reference abruptly stopping or quitting something that is a big thing in your life.
Ooh, okay.